All right, bodily versus heart lust. Now, Matthew chapter 5 teaches that whosoever looketh on a woman to lust after her hath committed adultery with her already in his heart. Now, the word lust in the Greek means to set the heart upon or to long for. Now, the reason that it's important to understand this is because there's a difference between a lust of the body and a lust of the heart. The difference between it is a lust of the body is when your body lusts for something. It desires something with or without your mental consent. Okay? A lust of the heart, however, requires mental consent. And the reason that it's important to know the difference is because, obviously, one is sinful and one isn't. If you're looking on a woman to lust after her, and you're lusting with your heart, it's sinful for you because you've consented to it, that you want this evil thing. However, if you look at a woman and your body lusts, that doesn't necessarily require your mental consent, which means your body can lust for her without you actually being guilty because you've not allowed your heart to lust after her, if that makes sense. Let me draw up an example where this can actually matter. Let's say that a husband and wife are at the beach and a bunch of women in bikinis walk by. Now, the wife knows her husband quite well, and she can tell that he gets aroused when they walk by. Now, the problem with this scenario is this can lead her to feel like, insecure and like maybe her husband's unfaithful. And it can lead him to feel guilty because he's like perhaps maybe having an erection, and he's like, he feels guilty of like lusting after them, but he's just, all they did was walk by. So he's feeling guilty of something when he's not done anything wrong, and she's feeling insecure and maybe like her husband's not faithful, which could break her heart and destroy her emotionally, when the only thing that happened was that his body lusted based off of external stimulus that he couldn't control, okay? And again, he didn't lust with his heart or anything. His body just responded to external stimulus. Let me put it this way. Let's say a woman walks into a bakery and she smells all kinds of confections and pastries and donuts and all this stuff she shouldn't eat, right? And her stomach growls. Okay, does that mean that she sold herself that she wants to eat all this junk that she shouldn't eat? No, maybe it's just the smell of food that she shouldn't eat, or that it happens to be something she shouldn't eat. The smell of food starts making her body respond, because that's what happens. You smell tasty food, and it's been a while, and you start to feel hungry, and your stomach growls. That does not necessarily mean she wants to eat the garbage that's in there. It just means her body is responding to external stimulus in the way that it was designed to. Now, the same thing can happen with a man when he sees a naked woman or a partially naked woman. His body is naturally designed to respond a certain way, whether his mind goes in evil channels or not. And again, the reason that I drew this out is because if you fail to understand this, it can actually cause problems in the relationship, needless problems, because there's a lack of understanding of what's actually taking place here. A man can see a naked woman or partially naked woman, and his body's going to start wanting sex. It doesn't mean he wants her. Maybe it's just making him hungry for sex, period, and he's going to be like, babe, can we have sex? Does that make sense? Or maybe when she goes into the bakery and she's smelling all this garbage and she starts to feel hungry, that doesn't necessarily mean that she wants to eat garbage. She might know that it'll make her feel sick as a dog. She's like, no, but I definitely want to eat something. Okay? So it's important to understand the difference here, because if you don't, there can be heartbreak and agony that's needless. Let's say a husband's on the computer and some internet pop-up thing flashes this naked woman on the screen, and that's of course the moment that his wife walks in the room and she sees this, and he sees that he's responding to it, his body's responding to it sexually, and he feels like he's caught in adultery, and she's freaking out and she's heartbroken, and the only thing that happened was a pop-up, and his body responded naturally the way that it supposed to. Now don't think that this won't happen, because this is how Satan orchestrates everything. He's trying to destroy people, okay? So this is the very type of thing that would happen. And I'm not saying that if a woman sees her husband and in a certain moment and there's a naked woman on the screen that he's not watching pornography, it's just a pop-up every time. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is we have to be intelligent and careful, or people can get hurt just because we're ignorant. You must understand your body will respond to external stimulus with or without your mental consent, with or without you indulging evil or lasciviousness in your heart, okay? And so this is why it's important to understand that Jesus said, "Whosoever looketh on a woman to lust after her hath committed adultery with her already in his heart." You can look at a woman and lust after her with it's just being your body. The word lust in the Greek, it refers to set the heart upon or long for. So that word lust is specifically referring to heart lust. But there is a lust of the body that does not require mental consent. And it's really important to know this. So please keep it in mind. It'll be important in coming presentations. Thanks for watching. We'll see you again soon.